Hey guys, welcome to the Elite Weekly Boss. So go ahead and give yourself a hero. Go ahead and turn auto start off. We're going to start out with a druid as a 1-3-0 and we're transitioning to a 1-4-0. Immediately place a village and make it a 0-2-0, and then it's going to upgrade to a 1-2-0 on here. Placement is going to be key, so make sure you kind of follow in place where I'm placing as well too. For the first tier, what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we are going to grab attack and we're going to make it a 0-2-5 on here. And then you're going to place two more and make it a 0-2-4 on here, two more. And then we are going to place an alchemist and we are going to make it a 4-2-0. And that is going to be it for tier 1 on here. Super easy. Remember, placement's going to be key on here with this boss, especially for the final tier of the boss. So please make sure you follow the placement that I do or you might end up losing. I'm going to fast forward this all the way to the second tier. Second tier, what we're going to do is we are going to do a village and we are going to make it a 4-2-0, and then we're going to upgrade our alchemist to a 5-2-0, and then we're going to place 6 tack shooters as 0-2-4s, and you want to try to place them in range of that village that we just placed because it's going to do extra pierce, so make sure you kind of be mindful of your placement. And then we are going to upgrade that very first village that we did to a 2-4-0 on here. So after you place the 6 additional tacks, upgrade your first village that we placed to a 2-4-0, and then place 2 more tacks down, and they're going to be 0-2-4s on here. And this is going to be it for the second tier. And so I'm going to fast forward this because we don't really need to do anything. Use your abilities every time that the boss comes out on here. But this is it on here. Once you upgrade that other one here, that's all we're going to do. And then I'm going to speed it all the way forward to tier 3 on here. So you can just generate money and then upgrade as I upgrade. So on tier 3, we're going to upgrade our village to a 5-2-0 on there. And then we are going to add 1 tack. It's going to be a 0-2-4. And then we are going to do another village and we are going to make it a 2-4-0 on here for this village. And then we are going to place a glue gunner, and the glue is going to be a 0-5-2. We're not going to have enough to upgrade to a tier 5 at first, but mid-round you can just upgrade it to a T5 on here. I did place it in range of the alchemist, so it buffs on there with that perma brew as well. So just once it starts, use your abilities, use your village abilities, and then go ahead and upgrade your glue gunner to the T5 as a 0-5-2. And that is going to be it. We're just going to fast forward all the way up until the next round. So you're going to see me forward ahead on here to the next tier. And so for our 4th tier, what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade one of our villages to a 2-5-0 on here. And then in range of our T5 village that we just upgraded, you're going to place a sniper and you are going to make it a 5-0-2 on here. Mark it on strong, and then we're going to place 8 more tack shooters. All of them are going to be 0-2-4s. You do want to place them kind of where I'm placing them and towards the top, because when we get to that final tier on here, the goal is to defeat the boss as quickly as possible, because we really need to defeat it before 1:30, because then the pink mobs come out and it can really, we can end up dying on here. So you do want to place everything towards the front because we want to basically defeat the boss as quickly as possible on here. And so that's why I'm placing them and trying to place them in range of that T5 village for the primary, so we can get extra pierce for each one as well too on here. So then once you place all 8 of the tack shooters, which I am doing now on here, what we'll also add before this round is an ice monkey, and it's going to be a 5-2-0 on here. You won't have enough again for the ice monkey to upgrade it all the way to a T5, but once the round starts, just go ahead and generate income and then upgrade it to a T5 to a 5-2-0 on here. Make sure you constantly use your village abilities and any abilities that you have on here as well too. So the first four tiers of the boss are super easy. It's honestly the last tier of the boss that seems to get everyone on here. So for the final tier, I slowed it down completely. I'm not going to fast forward it on here for here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with a helicopter. We're going to make it a 240. This is going to help move the alchemist in range of all of our towers. And then we're going to place a druid. It's going to be a 0, 2, 5. And then you're going to place 5 druids in range of that druid. And they're going to be 0, 2, 4s. So they buff each other on here. So place 5 total of these all in here. And then once we place 5, I'm going to place another T5 glue. And it's going to be a 0, 2, 5 on here. And like I said, the reason why we created the helicopter so we can move our alchemist in range of all of the towers for that perma brew on all of those. So it's very important that we do that. Once we get the glue as a 0, 2, 5, we're going to place 4 more druids. They're going to be 0, 2, 4s again on here. So you can just place them kind of around the map towards the back end on here. And it's really going to help with the kind of the balloon cleanup and feeding off of each other on there for the pops on here. So when this starts, put it on slow. Use your abilities as soon as they are available. Once you can move, grab your alchemist and move it in range of your towers. I suggest doing your T5 druid first. And then once it refreshes, go ahead and move it around the map to make sure it hits all of them on here. And then, so that's all I'm going to be doing and using my abilities. What you want to do with the remaining money that you're generating is towards the back end of the map, you're going to end up seeing me place mermonkeys. And these mermonkeys are really going to be important because it's going to really kind of help slow down the rounds, but it's also going to help clean up a lot of the mobs while we're trying to have the other towers pop on here. So definitely make sure you do that. I highly suggest leaving this on slow here and constantly make sure that you're using your village abilities. It's so important that you do this. And all of our mermonkeys, once we place them, are going to be 0, 2, 4s. I tried to place them towards the back end where it grabs the 2 tracks on there. And the reason why we're making these 0, 2, 4s on here is they will basically kind of grab the mobs and circle them. So then it kind of slows it down, and any of the mobs that are getting spit out by the boss, it's going to help on there. So I am going to create 2 total of the 240s, and then I started a third one on there. So if you do have enough money, you'll end up placing another one, a third one, and upgrading it to a 2 or a 0, 2, 4 on there as well. And then once your alchemist has moved to pretty much all the other towers, definitely make sure you put it over by your mermonkey so they get the perma brew also. Remember that perma brew is once it attaches to a tower, it's permanently there. So it's so important that you make sure that that hits every single tower on here. If you use this exact strategy in the placement on there, we are going to defeat the boss at 130 on here. As long as you defeat the boss, then you don't need to worry about the pink mobs that end up coming out at that 130 on here. So you'll see on mine here where once we start getting towards the end on there, there's going to be mobs that are coming down towards the back, but we pop the boss, so we get the victory on there and we don't have to worry about the rest of the balloons. So the goal is on this final tier is killing the boss as quickly as possible on here, because the further that you let the rounds go, it's going to be extremely difficult on here, especially with those pink mobs that are coming out and all the other mobs and stuff. Those are going to end up leaking if you let it continuing where the rounds are going quickly on here. So that's why we want to quickly get these rounds. I'm extremely sorry for the late upload on here, guys. I played this twice earlier on Saturday, and then I didn't defeat it, and I had to revamp my strategy and stuff, and it got as a busy weekend and stuff. I hope that you like this strategy on here. If you used a different strategy, make sure you comment below. Let me know what you think of this one. This is a super easy strategy as well too. There's very little at all micro apart from moving the alchemist, which is a really good thing with this particular boss, and then you don't have to move things on there apart from making sure that alchemist touches each one of the towers. As always, guys, thank you so much for all of your support. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys on Boss Rush or the next weekly boss event. Bye, guys.